Everyone, it's Libby from Meister Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Warramai First Nations people. It's WORIMI, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides, and the universal energies. Oh, okay. Moving day tomorrow, 6:30 in the morning. Oh boy, they arrive. Okay. Place still looks like a bomb went off, but everything has been emptied out and the majority of everything has been packed up. So we are getting there. Just a final push this afternoon. And then tomorrow we'll be cleaning. Yay! Okay. What I want to have a look at in this particular reading is, well, first of all, actually, entertainment only, I'm going to have a look for you guys to say what's next. Woohoo! My guides woke me at 4 o'clock in the morning of the day that you on the other side of the world were holding your signs up and having some fun with the single word in capitals of epic. And absolutely wasn't it such? Counting at the moment, estimates 8 million plus, so over 8 million, which is significantly larger than the last March, because we've had a lot of people join us since. And I just want to say 0 arrests, 0 violence, except for those that were pro-Trump trying to cause troubles. And just looks like you guys had an absolute blast around the world, including, I saw an image this morning of a guy, single guy all by himself outside the US Embassy in Estonia with his sign, all around the world out in support. In Australia, they had the anti-immigration marches. However, they were down about 10% of what they were several months ago because, gee, a lot of people were now on the pushing back on the anti-immigration marches because a couple of months ago they went along, anti-immigration, all for Australia, blah, 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 blah. And who happened to pop up on the stage for all the speeches, etc., were the local neo-Nazis. So a lot of them went, hang on, this wasn't what I was signing up for. This is not what I meant. And then all of a sudden there was the wake-up call that if you are not of First Nations, you are an immigrant or you come from immigrants. So it was a huge wake-up call for many. Anyhow, I just want to say, keep up the pressure, but tag team it. None of us, take some time out. Self-care, absolutely. So it was epic. It was huge. It was a massive opportunity. Just amazing. But now is the time to do self-care. And also, we need to keep the pressure up, but you need to tag team it. None of us can do everything. We need to take some time out, says me having the next 3 days off. But absolutely, tag in with others to pass the baton and take some time out, and then you can pick it back up again. So not everybody is expected to do everything all of the time. And that was just the wheel of what did I see? The wheel. The wheel is turning. Okay. I'm just going to put these out. I'm going to put these out. Come on down. I took this one off the bottom, and then this card was next, and then this card was next, and 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 this card was next. Off the bottom, and the Magician was showing itself as well. The Magician, Temperance, and Strength. The wheel is turning. Manifest. You got it now. Now is the time to start manifesting the future that you want. Balance, moderation, care for all, because the strength is yours. Working together brings strength. It is bringing a nightmare for some certain individuals who might decide that they need to go overseas, because we've got the 5 of Pentacles, we've got the treason card, we've got the leaving card, we've got the imprisonment card, and then we've got the Star and the Moon. Big cards as volatile information comes out. But what I really wanted to talk about was these cards here. These ones here. The wheel has turned. We know that. It's been turning, it has turned. There's going to be a lot of headlines that come out very quickly. Potentially negative headlines about the White House, but a lot of headlines that come out really quickly that are going to bring down this self-destruction implosion of the White House. Now, this is as it crumbles, as it falls apart, as it is torn down. The White House might come out with perhaps a new plan, a huge announcement. We're going to invade, because the Orange Twerp apparently was talking on Fox News about Bush invading Iraq. I don't know what he said. I have no interest in listening to his voice at all. But do not be surprised if a huge announcement comes out about boots on the ground in Venezuela. Do not be surprised. Doesn't mean that they'll go through with it, but do not be surprised, because they will be in utter desperation mode. However, you've got the money trail about the abuse, steal, betrayal, and connections with Russia, and we have the Justice card. Now remember, we also had the Star and the Moon. So it's getting incredibly close, but do not be surprised if there's some sort of, in this moment of the White House imploding, this regime imploding, that they make some sort of announcement about boots on the ground in Venezuela. So I just want to have a look. Santos got pardoned. Do not be surprised if Maxwell is next. But I want to have a look. I want to have a look. Oh dear. You'll notice just about every reader gets fluidy lungs as soon as they start looking into the Orange Twerp. Sorry, a sip of coffee there. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. What do I want to have a look at? Oh, those cards are up the. Oh, military. Looking at options, military, coming into some sort of partnership. There's going to be some lunatic announcement that comes out. Some real lunatic announcement that comes out. The military are going to look us to see whether they obey those options. Hopefully not, with the best of democracy and surprised announcement. But it's going to be some sort of lunacy announcement that comes out. Where the military are going to form a partnership here to bring balance and detoxify. This is huge. Just seeing what was next on the top. And then we've got the Ace of Cups and the Sun card. And then the harsh truth coming forward and charging in. Okay. I'll have a look at that instead. I was going to ask what the Orange Twerp thought about the March, but I don't think it matters. He hasn't mentioned it at all on his Untruth Social, other than some stupid AI 30-second whatever it was of him and supposedly a golden fighter jet dropping brown stuff. Oh, police. Sure, that went over like a lead balloon with all the Vietnam vets. Okay. Is the White House going to announce boots on the ground in Venezuela? I want to have a look at Zelensky as well. I'll do that in a separate reading. Is there going to be an announcement out of the regime ordering the military to invade Venezuela. Right. It's coming to some sort of this. They're talking about it. I think this interview that the Orange Twerp did on Fox, I think it was Lara that actually was the interviewer, but I might be wrong, about Bush invading Iraq. They're testing the waters. Okay, so yeah, there are discussions about it. Ooh, challenged by a firming up of the discussions about it, but the unbalanced agreements that are being watched. Okay, let's see where this goes. You got the unity of the people that went to the festivals on the weekend have spoken. In the past, living in the life of luxury in their gilded cage, but not listening to what is actually going on, not listening to what's happening outside that gilded cage. Now, the day of the rallies, festivals, fun time, whatever you like to call it, he was holding a $1 million a plate dinner at Mar-a-Lago for all these tech bros, etc. I do wonder whether there was some declining of invitations at the last minute, because the photograph that they showed, it was supposedly to raise money for the ballroom. Now, I could count in the photograph there was 3 tables of probably 10 that were visible in the photograph. So I suspect a lot did not go. I mean, if it was a full dining hall of, this was the photo that was published by the media. I imagine if it was full of hundreds, they would have shot from further back. But there was literally 1, 2, half a table, half a table. It might have been 4 tables. So maybe of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 8, 4 tables of 8. 8 and 8 are 16, 32. Yeah, about 30 people there. Now, the photograph had him up on the podium talking to them all, but like if there was 50 tables full of people or even 10 tables full of people, they would have taken the photograph from further back. So in the past, in the gilded cage, not listening to public opinion, crowning this reading. Will they order it? Well, they're looking at the options. I would say with this Lover's card that a certain somebody is telling a certain somebody to do it, but they may not want to. So looking at the options here, and I'm talking about within the regime, a lot of negative headlines coming out. Treason, betrayal, illness, could be a heart issue, could be the vascular issue we've been waiting for forever, because eventually the body will just say, up yours, and give the Orange Twerp the burden and decide to depart the scene. I think it's going to be very public, not his actual passing, but his collapsing. Gosh, externally, internally, is the White House going to order invasion of? I don't think they are. I honestly don't think they are. You've got this hopes and fears, planning behind the scenes happening that will bring this regime to an end, because it's just too much. And then you've got the money trails, and then word's going to come out about money trails, oligarchical money trails, and then you've got the legal action starts. They're considering it. They're testing the waters to consider it. I don't know that they will, though. I think events are going to, and then we've got the Wheel of Fortune on the bottom. The Wheel of Fortune, not liking what's on offer, out in the cold, those that are in support finding themselves sacrificed, legal restriction potentially, the false victory, harsh truth, and then somebody fleeing overseas. back up against the wall, Russia, and you've got the Russian connections with the government potentially. Yeah, I don't think he's going to order it because I don't think it's going to get ordered. I think this interview was a testing of the waters. If if it's attempted, too far, too far, too much. I kind of hope they do because that'll be an excuse to remove the government. But I always get, yeah, no restriction because only Congress can order this. Forced to retreat, restriction. Only Congress can order this, and I don't think, and for Congress to order it to happen, from what I understand, Congress actually needs to be sitting, and the government is closed at the moment. Um, it's going treason, heartbreak, loss, despair, betrayal, legally betrayed. Okay, I might try it, but I don't. And then we've got the Queen of Swords, legal action being taken. He might try it, but I don't think he's going to be able to. I don't think it's going to work. It's just turning into a mess. Will the military commanders, right, we've got the admiral that recently resigned. We had the chief of staffs that were fired. There's quite a few really top brass. Are they talking to each other? Are they talking to each other? Yeah, I got yes. They're not using their phones though. They're not being tracked. Oh, you've got a lot of news coming out about the devil and the gilded not listening to public opinion. Oh, we have some sort of announcement coming out that's going to bring about the downfall and the investigation. And we've got the voters and we've got the Ace of Swords. Make of that what you will, but it's okay. I want to have a look quickly. I'll do a complete reading on Zelensky, but I'm going to find themselves completely exposed. Those that tied their wagon to the felon train. Anthony Albanese, the Australian Prime Minister, allegedly is supposedly finally meeting with the Orange Twerp. Don't even know why he's bothering, but you know, got to do something because Australia's got a 10% tariff on all goods, but I think it's about 100% on pharmaceuticals, and Australia does export quite a number of pharmaceuticals to the US. So if you're wondering why your medication's gone up, it's because you guys are paying a massive tariff on your medicines. You and I know that. But we also export a lot of iron and steel. So, and I think there's a 50% tariff, not iron, steel and aluminium to the US as well, or aluminum as you guys call it. Let's have a look. How's the meeting going to go? Now, Australia also has a lot of rare earth minerals. Now, I really, really, really wish the Australian government, I mean, we're only a small population, we're the size of the US, but we've got a population the size of Florida, spread out all over. But I do wish the Australian government would actually start supporting processing onshore and actually sending finished products off instead of just digging up soil and sending it off. Okay, that might be in the works here. So he's got all the cards and he's working hard to bring about an experienced plan. We've got some sort of partnership and agreement, but then we've also got the restriction card as well. So Australia's got a lot of rare earth minerals, but we are notorious for simply digging up and sending the soil overseas, not the actual finished product. And New Zealand does the same. New Zealand grows a vast amount of pine logs, so pine trees. They started in the 1930s, I believe, as a program to employ during the Great Depression, to employ people to plant these trees, etc. And they plant them on land that's not viable or not terribly viable for farming. And what happens is they harvest all these trees into big logs. They send the logs to the wharves and send the logs off overseas for processing to places like China, etc., or wherever they go. I haven't really looked into wherever they go. And what happens then is they buy back timber at enormous, or lumber if you call it over in the US, at enormous cost. I can't believe what building materials cost in New Zealand. Now, if they were, surely they could do onshore processing with these products in New Zealand. I know it's only a little country, littler, even littler than Australia, our little cousin over there, but surely, or the Australian New Zealand government could come to an agreement to process them here, which is a lot closer, and we're kind of friendly. Anyhow, let's have a look. How is the meeting going to go with the orange twerp from Anthony Albanese's point of view? Elbows up. We call him Albo in the usual Australian way. So come on down. Ten of Wands. He's going in with, I don't think it's going to be productive at all. I don't even know why he's bothering, to be honest. But he's going in with a list of demands, requests, whatever you like to call it, messages that he's passing on. But I don't think he's going to get them home. I don't think it's going to, because he's dealing with somebody who will sabotage you in the next breath. Betrayal, sabotage, win at any cost. Yeah, yeah. He can say he tried, but I don't think he's going to succeed with anything. You've got the Fool, the energy that he's elbow stewing in. He's hopeful, he's optimistic, but I think he's also, he would have been better off just ignoring and coming up with different arrangements. In the past, the manipulation, but also the manifestation. So this meeting has come to fruition. Trying to, he's brought this meeting into being, crowning this reading the Queen of Swords, strategy, internal strategy, but also she's also about internal truth, realization, harsh reality, etc. Okay, we've got the Three of Cups in the immediate future, the circles of support. Might be joining Canada instead. So this is very much hanging out with those that support us. How's the meeting going to go? Again, another Queen. Now, Anthony Albanese, lovely guy. He was brought up by a single mum in a housing commission house. He worked his way through, I believe he did university and through the system. He's got a long-term relationship. They're not married. He's got a little fluffy dog called Toto that he adores. He is very much a man that is comfortable in his own skin and comfortable with both sides of his core personality, both as masculine and feminine. So I have no hassles with these queens coming up, because I suspect Carney's very similar as well. Macron is as well, very comfortable in their masculinity with their empathetic side, that they don't feel a need to be bully boyed. Okay, so in the immediate future, we've got the circles of support, the emotional support. externally, we've got the Queen of Wands, so some sort of detoxifying internal plan. Internally, we've got the Sword of Truth. He's gone, he saw, perhaps realized how decayed the king is. Never forget Meloni, the Prime Minister of Italy, screwing her nose up in disgust at the smell. But yeah, internally, so from Anthony Albanese, he's going to come away with a greater understanding of this regime. We've got the Two of Swords on the defensive, trying to decide what path to go forward, but you've got the Devil out in the cold, and the Hermit trying to find a new path forward. He won't succumb to the charms of the Devil, which means I suspect he's going to come away with no deals, new path forward, Page of Wands, an announcement coming out, and a Judgment card, and the World. So I suspect he's going to, and on the bottom you've got the Tower, you've got the Big Stick, you've got the Abundance card, Page of Pentacles, looking at options, stabbed in the back, downfall, King of Swords, military, things being revealed. I get the feeling that Albo's going to come away pretty much with nothing, because he's not the sort of person to smarm up. You know, he will try and do a deal. He'll say that he will say the weasel trigger words, so don't be alarmed at that. Just like Kami did, he'll say the weasel trigger words, but do not expect him to come away with any sort of deal, any sort of agreement. And I think the other countries are going to rally around him and support him in regards to that. Make arrangements elsewhere, basically. Okay, leave it to you. Catch you later. Bye-bye.